There we go. So let's begin. The energies are really cranked up. They were all last week. So if many people are still processing, I wouldn't be surprised. Just as a reminder, the way this works is that, especially as we're in the crux of the awakening, okay? And when the frequencies come onto this planet and it's measured through solar radiation, geomagnetic storming, the Schumann resonance, it's like literally cranking up the frequency on the planet. And it is not always pleasurable, okay? Mostly because what it does is it amplifies the imbalance within us, okay? It amplifies the density that we're holding. And just like on this, in this group, when we come together, we attune to a frequency. Well, just imagine just having to attune to something that is just ever present in the atmosphere, and there's no break. And it can be, this is why I talked about the mind will go mad, because the first place that reacts is the mental body. Okay, so the frequencies come in, and then oftentimes people go in a mental meltdown because it will. Sorry, there's more people still coming in. Pull out all of the imbalances in our mental awareness. Okay, so limiting belief systems, lower vibrational thought patterns, other people's voices, other people's opinions, other people's stuff that we're holding in our mental body. And it will just start pulling it out. And what that can feel like is that you're like in a spin in your mind, and it's really hard to get out of. I'm sure I don't need to say this, but I'm sure you know this, going onto social media and reading and all these things does not help the mental activity. It just stimulates it more. And also then we can sometimes get sucked into groupthink. And then we have no sense of what's mine, what's other people's. And the more we get sucked into the mental activity, into the mental imbalance, the narrower our perspective gets. The mind is the most programmed part of us. Okay. It is so easily manipulated. It is so easily programmed. And that is why we must practice feeling who we are beyond our mind, so that we know the difference. That is part of what this shift is, because for so long we have identified with the analytical mind. We haven't known that there's a difference between me and my thoughts. The thoughts, they're just running, right? And they are running, and they got a lot of stuff in it that is not necessarily connected to our highest good, our highest expression. And so part of the spiritual practice is to know what you feel like beyond your thoughts. Here's the thing about the thoughts. The imbalanced thought then triggers the imbalanced emotion. Have you ever been online and all of a sudden, like, you're pulled into something and then you react and it doesn't even really feel like you? Like, that is partly what happens, because our minds get hijacked, and then our thoughts can hijack our emotions. So this happens, and this is dialed up when there's a lot of energy coming through. It's not a coincidence too that oftentimes when the frequencies are dialed up, there's a lot happening on the world stage that people are reacting to. Let me explain from my lens. What's happening on the world stage, what happens in the collective, is just a mirror of what we're holding inside of us. Okay. So all of that conflict, we are all holding that within us to varying degrees. And so when it gets dialed up, the drama in our own lives, and also the drama in the outer world, also gets picked up, because it's being turned up. It's being turned up. It's being pulled out. so that we all can confront, right? But here's the thing about the mind. This actually came through this morning. The ego mind is not invested in your spiritual growth. It's not interested. It's not interested in you transforming, you transcending. The ego mind is interested in you staying in the familiar, in you staying in the comfortable. And here's the thing, from where we've all been, usually our familiar, our comfort levels also are miserable. I'm just going to say it. So the mind is actually more interested in us staying comfortably miserable than it is in us starting to bring all of that attention that the mind wants to redirect out, be obsessed on what's happening out there, fixated, distracted. Because guess what? That's comfortably miserable. What the mind is not so eager to do is to redirect that and to come home, where real change happens. Does that make sense? It is easier to project all of our energy out, to lose our minds on what's happening out there. But the truth is, what really will create change in your life is to redirect that energy, redirect that attention into what's going on here. What inner conflict am I holding within me? What prejudice am I holding in with me? What separation, what self-hatred, what am I doing in here that's not creating a beautiful, peaceful, harmonic sanctuary for me to come home to? Why do I want to be out there so much? Because this is not comfortable. And here's the thing, the more comfortable this becomes, the more light we hold in our vessel. Okay. The more light we hold in our vessel, the more light we radiate. And then when we want to show up in service for the world, it's coming from a clean place. We're not going out just kind of projecting all of our unresolved conflict out there. Exactly. So Corey says, this is why, that is why some want most of us to not remember who we are, sovereign. Like, if you want to feel free, we don't feel free in our minds. We don't feel free in our inner worlds. So let's start there. Let's start there, because what is shifting, and this is part of the unlearning that we're going through right now, but what is shifting is it's energetic. Okay. It happens in the energy field before it happens in the physical. And because of the law of one, you shifting, you creating freedom within you, that creates more freedom in the atmosphere. And so that is part of what this inner revolution is about. This change that's happening, it's an inner revolution. Okay. So one thing they were saying to me earlier this morning was, because of all of the heightened solar activity right now, and actually they're showing me that there's more coming. I don't know if you've been all sleeping okay, but it can disturb the circadian rhythms. It can really disturb our nervous system. Not sleeping. Yeah. I wasn't sleeping for a few days last week. So we're going to balance the mental body today. They also said, can we just start with a minute of silence? I used to do this way back when we were doing these groups. We always did a minute of silence so that we could practice. We could practice sitting in stillness, because this is the thing, that pause between thoughts, is where we can actually catch up on our processing. Okay. So we want to feel that pause between the mental activity, because that's where all of the stuff that we're clearing right now and we're integrating, that's when we can do it. And remember, when we tune into that pause between thoughts, that pause, that could be hours because it's outside of time and space. All right. So let's begin. Let's just start to bring our awareness in. Oh, they're wanting to do a body meditation quick. Okay. So we're going to begin with a body meditation. So the body, the physical body, is doing a lot of work right now. Remember that as we hold more frequency within us, the body has to shift as well, like on a cellular level, because the body is equipped to be holding a certain level of consciousness. But then when we raise our consciousness, the body then all of a sudden starts to go through a detox to be able to hold higher frequency. That's why people have so much strange bodily things happening. It's purging, it's detoxing. Okay, so just pausing every once in a while just to thank the body. So I'm holding my heart right now. I have both my hands on my heart, just connecting and just in reverence and deep reverence for this body. Think about how much funky energy we send to our body every time we catch a glimpse of it in the mirror. Every time, there's so much junk we send at our body. And so let's just send our body a blessing right now. And let's bless our body, thanking it. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do to allow me to have this experience. Thank you for your innate intelligence, for your wisdom. Thank you for your love. Thank you for loving me and taking care of me. And then as we hold this beautiful blessing for our body and our awareness, let's bring our awareness now to the bottoms of our feet and just start to be aware of the earth, the ground. Because here's the thing, the body, the physical body, is a part of the earth, just like the trees, just like the mountains. Our physical body is a part of the earth. And so when we thank our bodies and we start to feel more in connection with our bodies, we start to feel more in connection with the earth. So when we are too separated and too much hatred and discord with our body, then we cannot be in harmony with the earth. And so as we bring our awareness down towards the earth, again, blessing the earth, thanking the earth, and just feeling that oneness with the earth. And that also supports us in starting to ground, starting to come into the earth plane. You can even just feel that beautiful magnetic connection to the earth. And when you inhale now, let's inhale that beautiful earth energy into our body, into our field. And that just starts to, if we ever feel overwhelmed, it can start to anchor us. It can start to settle us. Beautiful. And then just bringing your awareness to your natural breathing, your natural breath. As we just take 1 minute of silence right now. And this is just to observe, right? It's for you to shift out of the thinker, even shift out of the doer, and just move into being, okay? And just being, not thinking, not doing, being. And that's where we can start to catch up with all of this processing we're doing. So let's go into 1 minute of silence. And if you get pulled into your thoughts, this is also the opportunity to practice non-judgment. Oh, interesting. I'm thinking, right? Oh, interesting. I just got pulled into a thought. Let me just easily shift my awareness back to my breath and let it go for as many times as you need to do that. And let's begin. And just staying here as we take 3 breaths together. So take a nice deep breath in through the belly and then just breathe it out. Sigh it out. Feel your body melt as you exhale. Once again, breathing in through the belly and releasing. Again, deep breath in. And then as you exhale, just feel your body release any tension, starting to soften. And then just bringing your awareness back to your breath. We're going to call back our energy right now, especially if our energy is online, just even if we read and we have reactions to things and we can keep our energy gets left in many different places. So as you bring your awareness to your breath right now, see if you can bring 100% of your focus, your attention on your breathing. Bringing your awareness to that still point, that singular point of your breath. And as you get very focused on the breath, your energy starts to follow your focus into this now moment. So any energy that's stuck in the past, any energy that's stuck in the uncreated future, just comes here. Okay. Because this is where everything begins, in this moment. And so what we want to do is we want to get crystal clear here. Are we holding peace here in this now moment? Are we holding balance here in this now moment? Because that is what is dictating our future, right? Whatever you're holding here, we are not moving forward to our future. The future doesn't exist. We are a magnet calling to us different future potentials based on what we're holding in our field in this now moment. So just breathe. And let's hold the intention right now as we get really focused. And we're calling back our beautiful energy from wherever it may be. Let's hold the intention to clear out any interference. Okay, so any negative interference that we may be holding in our field. As I mentioned, the negative interference also starts to dial up when the frequencies come in. So we want to clear that. We want to do it with love. We don't have to do it with fear. We're lovingly clearing whatever negative interference is in our field, and we're sending it back to source. And so you can just pause here, and this is not something to overthink. It's just holding the intention, breathing, and giving yourself permission to let go. Remember earlier where it was mentioned that sometimes we like to stay in the familiar discomfort, right? The familiar miserable. Sometimes we hold on to things that make us miserable. And so in this moment, just let go. Let go of whatever's not your light, whatever's not your truth, whatever's not who you are at your core. Just clear it away as you breathe out. And also, we're clearing any interference in our outer space as well, in our home, just through our intention to do so. I'm seeing that is really improving the light in our field right now. Okay. So let's call in that ring of light as we bring our angels, our guardians of the light, to surround us right now. And this is part of the spiritual journey as well, to remember that we are not alone. We got a team with us. We're the ones who volunteered to come into human form. We kind of took the hardest role, okay? But we have this team around us in every moment. And the more we learn to share our burden, delegate, the easier this experience becomes. But we got to feel them, okay? We first need to learn how to feel their presence around us so that we can actually start believing that they're there. So in this moment right now, as we breathe, we're calling in that ring of light, that beautiful high vibrational light emitting from our angels, from our guides, and just pausing here as we let go of any expectations. And we're just being and breathing and feeling. So now, with this beautiful frequency, this beautiful attunement, this angelic attunement is starting to move through the third layer of our aura. Okay, this is our mental body. This is where we hold all of our mental activity. We don't need to overthink. We just need to just breathe and allow this beautiful frequency, this angelic frequency, to move through your mental body to clear away any imbalance. And just move slow as we balance the mental body. And now we're moving this into the second layer. So that's the third layer. Then the second layer is our emotional body. And they both work together. But now we're also just bringing balance to the emotional body. And you may feel yourself moving into more calmness. And this is where we can start to connect to that inner peace that's inherent in our soul. Beautiful. And now, because we are starting to balance the mental and the emotional activity, now we can start transcending. Okay. Now we can start shifting out of just our human awareness, just feeling the ground, because we always want to be grounded before we transcend. So it's like we're not jumping out of the third dimension. We're staying here and we are just expanding out. Okay, expanding our awareness out. So now as you bring your awareness to your breath, we're going to all hold the intention to let go of our 3D character. Okay, so I'm taking a break from Roya. You can take a break from your identity, your personality. And this way, we can just start breathing in and just dissolving into our soul, into the multidimensionality that we are. And just breathe here as we move out of our human limitations. And we start to feel the infinite nature of who we truly are. We start to feel those limitations dissolve. We start to feel free. And just breathe here. And as we breathe here, we bring through this beautiful next attunement that's coming through the crown of our head, filling up our whole body, and then expanding out into our field. And just breathe. And what this attunement is doing is it's inviting each one of us to raise our vibration to our highest divine expression. And so we're turning that up as well. And we're doing it with flow and ease to not disturb, because we've just calmed the mental and the emotional body. But now we are moving into our highest expression. Breathing into the heart space. Breathing in forgiveness. First, starting with ourselves. I forgive myself for the times I didn't pay enough attention, for the times I chose distraction or to escape. I forgive myself for the choices that pulled me further away from my truth. And I'm ready to come home now. And just feel that forgiveness ripple and reverberate throughout your whole body, your whole field. Forgiveness is what brings us freedom. Feeling your beautiful heart energy just start to stream out into this circle that we've created together. And let's just feel that beautiful heart energy moving into the middle of this circle that we've created together. And may we all practice both giving and receiving, which is the highest expression of the heart. And so as we offer this beautiful love to each other, may we also receive it. And we'll just pause here. May this love also expand to all beings. May all beings be free. May all beings be at peace. And then bringing our awareness back to our breath as we place a beautiful shield around our field, shields up just to filter out any noise. And we'll take one breath together as we come to a close. Breathing in and exhaling. May we each feel more integrated after this session, more balanced, more steady. more connected to the light within us. And so it is. So thank you, Julianne, and thank you, Betsy. Today was very calming, Sophie. I agree. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, iPhone. And so it is. Thank you, Rachel and Jean and Robin and Maya, Gina, Nicola, Danielle. Yes, me too, Sanam. Thank you, Yana. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Yana and Tracy and Oda, Stephanie. Thank you, Joyce. Me too. Me too, Monique. She says she gets emotional every time we call in our ring of light. Thank you, Marley. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Kim and Anne Marie and Anna. The lights are turned on. We've come home to turn our lights back on. Yes. All right, my loves. Have a beautiful week. And I will upload this onto YouTube if anyone needs to revisit. Okay. Take care, everybody.